All right, guys, welcome to Protein Bros Podcast. This is your host, Steven Salmon, here with Man Sports, and I have my co-pilots with me.
Jeff Wasserman
and Kyle Combs,
and we're not even the host today.
Dude, you're
Steven's
take
hosting.
over, man.
Yeah,
take over the podcast.
That's done now.
Good.
This
You're
is
now
my
hosting.
motherfucking podcast.
Yeah, tell us.
That was the best intro. So
what
far,
questions
dude.
do you have for us, man? Yeah.
Well, is it boxers or briefs?
I'm actually a briefs guy. Have you tried on Sacks before?
I have tried Sacks.
Dear God, man,
It's a good pouch down there.
I didn't know idea that thing existed.
No,
there's this new ball hammock in these things, dude.
Really?
Unbelievable.
No,
you gotta
but
try a pair on.
I just wear like Nikes. Like
Wait,
the dry fits.
same. I was just a Costco 3-pack guy, and now here I am. Sacks. Try them out.
Are these one of these like $30?
Yes.
But they're worth it.
Yes.
So
Ball hammock.
Sitka hunting clothing, they make the absolute best boxers.
Yeah. I have a Sitka jacket.
This is a great start to a podcast. Just talking about.
I've bought about 20 pairs of them, and I they're loaded in my closet, and it's
spell it for us.
Sitka.
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 Dude.
And they make I have their hunting stuff too, but their boxers, that's
Tell us why they're better than Sacks, because I'm listening.
They're softer.
Okay.
They stretch more. They come down a little bit further.
Okay.
And
Get down with that.
They breathe, man. They're good. I mean, like when you go hunting, you need to have the absolute best gear, because you're putting your body, you're putting yourself in situations that you're supposed to die.
Yeah.
And so when you go buy gear, you need to have gear that in the worst situations you're comfortable.
Right.
Moisture wicking, huge deal when you're hunting in cold weather.
And they have the best technical fabrics you can for hunting.
Yeah.
And,
Damn.
And so, I mean, they take that and apply that, just the boxers for shits and giggles. And goddamn, does it feel good.
For the material, though, I mean, like, that's one thing. But
I'll
the
tell
ball
you-
hammock.
I'll get you a pair.
But the ball hammock.
I'll pull you a pair on my bag, actually.
If
All right, I'm in. I'll try them on. I'll get in the dressing room right now.
If they cost as much as my jacket, dude, those got to be like $60 underwear, dude.
I think they're every bit of $30.
You got a Sitka hunting jacket?
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
I had
Quality.
to trade in I had an Under Armour one that just sucked, and I eventually had to trade it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess The Rock needs to talk to them about hunting jackets over there at Under Armour.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where, when you go hunting, you buy once, you cry once. And, if you get out there.
I like that phrase, by the way.
That is a good phrase.
You buy once, you cry once.
Yeah.
Because it's so expensive.
Yeah. And, I've had this hunting gear for 4 years, and I've put it through hell multiple times a year and haven't had to replace it. And, I keep adding to the collection every year as it kind of goes, but I'm good to go now. So when we go hunting, it's just throw your shit in the bag and go.
Yeah. I've kind of gotten that myself at that point too, except for I do duck hunting more often. And so I have to wear waders, and waders wear out like every 2 to 3 years, which really sucks.
They're so expensive.
Yeah.
At $200, $250. And
I mean, like,
probably even more than
you
that
can
now.
get way more expensive ones if
The
you want to.
Sitka ones
right?
are $1,000.
are they really?
I'm like, you can get way more
Wow.
expensive than $250.
Well, that actually might be why mine are wearing out every 2 to 3 years.
Buy once and cry once, Kyle.
So, for everyone that's listening, Steven he's an owner of Man Sports.
Also CEO, let's be real, you're still running the company, correct?
I am actively running the company. And in December, I bought my partner out, so I'm the sole owner of Man Sports now.
Hey, this is a fist pound I'm giving him right now, guys.
And,
that's a huge deal.
And Alex is amazing. He's fantastic, but he's had some opportunities come up where he just wanted to venture out. And
Sure.
so we've just been grabbing this thing and just running with it. It's been a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, man. What kind of changes have you made since taking over fully?
A lot of we've changed a little bit of marketing stuff and kind of the company direction, and just really focused on retail right now.
I'm with you.
So solely focused on retail.
We love that, as you know.
What made you want to make that pivot?
My background's in retail.
Yeah.
So I used to own a retail store, and it came from that. And Alex was online. So getting back to more education-based stuff versus sales-based stuff. And then so we're focused on education and community this year.
Yeah.
So everything we're doing is education and community, and our sales have just soared from it. So instead of trying to sell through discounts or whatever it is, we're focused on, hey, how do we teach people how to take these products, why they're good for them, and why they should be taking them.
Mm-hmm.
And people just love it.
Yeah, man. We've had, whenever me and Kyle were working the stores, we had quite a bit of, cult followers of Man Sports in our stores that really love the brand. And, I've been with you guys, gosh, man. I mean,
Lance Hack, dude. Didn't Lance love Man Sports?
Yeah, I'm sure he still does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you might have some emails from Lance. At one point, I know he was looking at being a brand ambassador for you guys or an athlete. And
shout out Lance. He just had a baby daughter.
Yeah, dude, Clara.
Yeah.
I think you like that.
It's a good name.
I think you like that name.
Yeah.
So, bottom line, you guys, I mean, like, I'm trying to think of the first product, probably Noladren.
Yep.
Noladren is probably the first man sports product we ever sold.
Thousands.
And I was probably 22 years old. You know what I mean? Yep. Estrogen blocker. If people have heard of man sports, what product do you think they've heard of first?
You know, that's the thing I don't know about man sports is that man sports has been around since 2004. And
how long have you personally owned it?
2011, 2012 was my first fiscal year with the company.
Gotcha. Okay.
And but Man Sports it was the first company to ever use beta alanine, the first company to ever use agmatine sulfate.
Wow, I didn't know either.
The first company to ever use citrulline malate.
No kidding.
So Man Sports has introduced these foundational ingredients that are in every product nowadays. And so
wild.
It just depends on what phase of life you were in. I think that like dietary supplements, sports nutrition is primarily like an 18 to 24-year-old male thing. So like we're constantly phasing out and phasing in new customers. You guys see that with the retail stores.
Mm-hmm.
And but I mean, it could be everything from Body Octane to Game Day to Noladren to, you know, those are like our foundational products that have kind of over the years have been like really huge rock stars for us.
Dude, iso amino. I want to say like I could have sworn this was you guys, but did you not invent candy flavors?
So we were.
Ooh, that is true. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So we
had never seen it before you.
Yeah, we launched like Skittles flavors and
Starburst. But I mean, like they were spelled differently, right?
Sour Patch Kids. Oh yeah.
They were spelled differently, but then eventually you guys changed the name to like instead of Nerds, it was called Dorks.
Dorks. Yeah.
I loved that. So I was like, dude, get the Dorks. Yeah. Get the Dorks flavor.
It kind of started with Game Day when we first repackaged and relaunched Game Day with the new formula. It was one of those scenes where we were looking at flavors and we had grape and fruit punch, but it was like, let's do a bomb pop.
Yeah.
Let's do a bomb pop. And so
and you guys were the first to do bomb pop.
Did bomb pop.
And it was literally called bomb pop.
It was
right?
It was blue bombsicle. And so we did blue bombsicle. Then it was like, Alex and I were sitting around talking. I think we were drinking one night and we were talking shit about, we were in Chicago and we were playing with the Flavor Lab over there. And we're like, let's do a Sour Patch Kids amino.
And it was Sour Batch Kids.
Sour Batch Kids.
Trying to think of all the fun names. There was Dorks and Nerds. Star Blaze.
And then like we got sued for Skittles. Oh, we got like a cease and desist.
Wasn't it Skittles with 2 Ds?
2 Ds. But in all fairness, like Alex's cat was named Skittles growing up. So that's where that kind of came from. Mm-hmm. It was really named after his cat.
That's what you told them, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rainbow on the front and not the cat. Yeah. That was just to throw people off.
Yeah. And then we changed it to Fruitles. But yeah,
Fruitles.
Fruitles. But dude, I mean, we were just crushing it with aminos, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. ISO amino was a great one.
I want to know. So, were you with the company when you guys started using citrulline malate and agmatine sulfate?
That was before me.
Really?
Yeah. So that was like
that's crazy because I mean, citrulline malate when I started with Supplement Superstores, in 2010 or whatever it was, most pre-workouts didn't have citrulline malate in it at the time. I remember we had a couple of pump products in it, and it was like the ones we'd always go to.
Like Hemavol had it.
Vasopump Hot Start by Muscle Fortress out of Colorado. They had 50 milligrams of citrulline malate. Yeah. That was it. Yeah. And then they had a one and a half. They had a
wicked pump off that.
Well, I just couldn't believe. Well, dude, here's the deal. We did get great pumps off of that, but it also had a 1.5 milligrams of a diarginine malate.
Yeah.
And they were the only ones that did a diarginine malate over just straight L-arginine.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that helped me or hurt me, but I loved it.
It came out around that time too that arginine to actually increase nitric oxide, you'd have to use an obnoxious amount of it. Mm-hmm. So everyone was looking for, what's the next ingredient?
And I'll never forget whenever it was like citrulline and it had to be 6 grams. And it was like, holy hell.
Yeah.
Because at the time, I remember when I first got hired, this is 2008, arginine was the only thing people used at the time, right? And Nitrix by BSN was the product, right?
Yep.
It was 3 grams.
Yep.
3 grams arginine. And no matter who made a pre-workout, it had 3 grams of arginine in it.
It was just gold standard.
Yeah.
Well, literally. Yeah. I mean, and the gold standard pre-workout also had 3 grams of arginine.
There
literally.
You go.
But arginine malate. And then the next one was agmatine. Then the next one was citrulline. And are we moving to anything else, or are we just saying, all right, citruline's the one?
I think that agmatine isn't as used as the other ingredients because it's banned in Europe. And so when you're looking at a lot of supplement companies that are making products, they're like, well, if I make a pre-workout, if I make a pump product with agmatine, I can't sell it in Europe. I have to have a second formula, and I have to have multiple flavors with that. And So like from an inventory dollar point of view, like you're looking at it and going, let's take agmatine out because we can't sell it in Europe.
Are you guys selling it internationally in Europe?
Yeah.
Damn.
Do you guys? So how much does that play when you're formulating a product? because I know Canada's similar to that too. There's certain ingredients you can't use in Canadian.
Yohimbe,
Yeah.
Canada's really tough, especially just because of, I mean, it's not just the import-export rules of their ingredients. It's also, they have, they're called like Health Canada. And so you have to get these, you have to basically get approved and get like,
they're it's almost like an FDA type,
and it's like a 6-9
body.
month process, and it's worse now because of, you know, COVID related stuff. So it's really hard to sell in Canada. Canada's a very difficult market.
Yeah.
So
but are you guys, when you formulate for like,
so so of course, like US is a huge market for us. We export to Australia, which is a huge market for us. And then we do stuff in Europe too. So we try to do formulas that, you know, number one, like they have to kick ass. And some of our formulas, like they just can't kick ass. Like if like we were to formulate them based on European or Australian standards, like they just wouldn't be as great as what they could be here. So we just make it just for the US market.
yeah.
Can you give us an example of one of those products?
Well, like Delta XT, like that's one of like our test boosters, and there's some ingredients in there that you just can't import overseas, and so we have that one exclusive to the US.
What's the primary ingredient in Delta?
There's a certain dose of like maca that you can't use over there.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Man, we had some customer once walk in that was just like, I need that maca, man.
Yeah.
That's the only thing he said to me.
Yeah, like
over and over again.
Rim
I've just
PM,
been impersonating him ever since.
Rim PM has some stuff in there. There's a couple products that you just can't export over there.
That's crazy that maca root is like, I can't have too much maca root. That's wild.
Same thing with Mexico though. When you go to Mexico, like
They sell HGH at freaking CVS.
I know,
there.
but when you go legally to Mexico, they have a caffeine limit in Mexico too.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
They'll sell you TRT
Yeah.
at CVS.
I mean, it's not TRT. They're just giving you the bottle.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do whatever you want with it.
They also sell Viagra just at the CVS. I had no idea. I was just in Mexico for my buddy's wedding.
How did you get that back?
I'm on the plane, and my buddy's like, dude, did you go to Walgreens? And I was like, no. And he's like, dude, I bought Viagra and all this other crap. And I was like, oh my God, dude, what? You went through customs with that? I was so mind blown. I was like, man,
how would you like to be the guy that gets shaken down and thrown in jail
for
because
Viagra?
You tried to bring Viagra.
Tried to bring boner pills back home. Unbelievable.
Not a good time.
But caffeine, don't you dare in Mexico.
So there are other products out there that, you know, you have to, so when you're looking at it from, you know, formulation point of view, you definitely want to like have something that's strong enough. You want to be able to compete. Like, so we have a belief system that if we can't add value to the category, we just won't fucking do it.
Yeah.
And so if we cannot add value to that category, why even make that product? Why just have another Me Too?
Mm-hmm.
And so when we're looking at it, yes, if we can do it and it can be effective and good and badass for all markets, great, let's do it. But if it can't, then let's just make it the best it can be for this market.
Mm-hmm.
What for our listeners that are, you know, supplement enthusiasts, what is something that you guys are really excited about coming up in what category?
Micronized protein gum.
Yeah. I asked Kyle if it was real.
That was our most planned out April Fool's joke.
That's what I'm saying. There was so much production behind that video.
When I watched the beginning of the video.
Let's tell the listeners what we're talking about right now, Kyle. Okay. Come on now.
All right, sorry.
What happened?
We'll back it up. Or you want me to tell?
Yeah, you can tell.
Let's let Steven tell it.
He made the promotion.
So we made an April Fool's joke that stated that there was 25 grams of protein in a piece of gum. And a piece of gum is like, say, 3 grams. Like, there's no fucking way it's even possible to put that. And we called it microprotein, and we actually made packaging, and we put it all together. Like,
it was so legit that I was like, this is real.
If you were to make it, like, if it was possible, like, that would be, like, it would look like that.
Right.
And so we started planning that out, like, March 1st. We're like, March 1st, we had our marketing meeting. We're like, hey, what can we do for April Fool's this year that would blow the wheels off everything else we've ever done?
Yeah.
And so we started, you know, putting that together and planning it out, and we had content built for it, and we put it out there, and we had a landing page. We bought 25gum.com and like did the whole thing, and it was great, man.
The part that got me was because you didn't know what the hell it was at first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You guys were like in a little meeting, you were talking about it, you're like, dude, we need to do something innovative, yada, yada, yada. And then you get to the end and you're like, gum. And when I saw it, I was like, fuck. I was like, they got me.
Yeah.
It's a piece of Trident.
I was like, damn.
But do that's like a big part of like, you know, what we're doing is trying to create stuff that, I mean, like that per se, like that's just a branding thing, right? So you're
it's just fun.
Keeps it fun.
How do we get people talking? Like, how do we get people interested in the brand? Like, how do we how do we move the needle and
create some buzz, if you will.
We, you know, just so you understand like how much that worked.
Yeah.
Our guys that own our Columbia market, they sent it in a text with us and Brandon was laughing about it. He was like, "Oh, dude, that's like the best April Fools I've seen so far this year."
Awesome. Mm-hmm. And that was the thing is we had retailers that, you know, had stopped selling us or weren't interested, and they were calling us now, and
yeah,
it was a good way to get people talking.
That's awesome, man.
Well, dude, it just keeps your brand fresh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like keeps your
relevant.
Brand relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess is a good term for it.
It's like remember like the owner of like Benihana, he used to get those hot air balloons and he would go from like city to city in them, and it said Benihana. And it's like, what does a hot air balloon have to do with like
Mongolian barbecue?
Chicken? Yeah, what? But he's all over the news.
Yeah,
you know, and it's just like a really good marketing play.
I only know him because of Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street. His son, the famous DJ, Stevie Aoki.
That's his son?
Yeah,
that's his son.
You didn't know that?
How did I not know that?
Yeah, isn't that a trip?
I just saw Steve Aoki last Friday.
Yeah.
Did you?
Dude, he was here in Kansas City.
Oh, nice.
I went there for an hour, and then I had to go to Mo Country for line dancing. That's a real combo.
Line dancing.
Steve Aoki to line dancing. That's my Friday.
It's a weird combo. You know what made me like drove home me never forgetting about Man Sports is one of the first bodybuilding shows I ever worked. I guess it was the previous owners, or maybe it was somebody that worked for you guys, showed up in the man van. Actually, might have been you.
That was me.
Was it you?
That was me.
Yeah.
And I was out the St. Louis.
That was the St. Louis Midwest. That was like 2014.
Yeah.
I just was loving it because it was like, it was unique as shit. It was like, man, who's ever seen, you know.
Dude, who wants to not take a picture in front of the man van?
Who doesn't like the man van?
Yeah.
You know?
Steven, did you come up with the man van?
The man van, yeah, I did.
I love it.
And then we wrapped it like a warbird plane.
Yeah, dude. It was
the most aggressive, non-aggressive vehicle that ever was.
And you guys were giving out the dopest hats that night. I remember.
Yeah, we gave out.
They were sweet hats.
Yeah.
So what made you decide? You know, I know you started in a retail setting. What made you decide, hey man, I want to take the step of buying into this company?
And was that a direct?
And I guess to kind of even back that up, you know, in the retail setting, were you the owner of the retail store?
Yeah. So I was a minority partner in the retail store. We owned a retail store out in Dallas, Texas called Results, and my partner and I, we had that, and then he owned a supplement company called Pro Subs, or Professional Supplements, and then it was like, you know, we started kind of like coining it Pro Subs inside.
Did it ever be called Pro Subs?
That was after,
nationwide.
It was after. Well, so we were a nationwide brand. We did some international stuff, but at that time we were just like a Carbolin. We were just a carbohydrate basic company.
I was just gonna say I know Pro Subs.
Yeah.
We still have the big Pro Subs like mixed carbohydrates.
Dude, the 10-pound Carbolin.
Yeah.
Freaking, yeah.
And like the guys that bought it afterwards, they did a phenomenal job. They really blew it up and did it. I mean, kudos to those guys. They did a fantastic job. But yeah, so we had Pro Subs, and I was a minority partner there, and I had Man Sports, but it wasn't really on paper. It was more of a handshake deal with the supplement company. And so when my business partner passed away, he had a heart attack. He passed away in 2011. It was like all of everything that I had and been working for, of like, you know, creating like this residual income with the retail store and then building something with the supplement company. It was fucking gone. It was just gone.
Because he was your handshake partner.
Mm-hmm. And so, you know, he had 5 or 6 brothers and sisters, and they got super involved, and they showed up. And at day one, when they came into town, they were like, "Hey, let's just, you know, dude, we don't want nothing to do with this. This is kind of your thing." And then I was like, "Well, let's just go meet with the CPAs, because like Art handled all that stuff. And, you know, we can figure out how to, like, you know, do this."
Amicably split.
I was like a 22-year-old kid or something. I was super young.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I was like, let's figure this out. So they went and met with the CPAs without me, and came back, and the whole conversation switched to, "Hey, you need to come work for us. We don't know you. We don't really trust you." And I was like, "You're a fucking plumber and you live in California. So what the fuck are you talking?
What are we doing here?
Yeah, what are we doing here?" And, you know, it was like, so the whole conversation switched to, let me try to figure out how to buy you out. And I tried to buy them out, but they wanted more than I had. And so I basically just ended up walking away from everything and starting over.
You couldn't come up with like a payment plan on that? Like, hey man, I'll give you guys $1,000 a month for the next 10 years.
That would have been a great deal, but they wanted 10,000 times more than that.
Dear God.
Yeah. And so
they didn't have any idea as to like,
no, and like, and not to get too much into it, but yeah, it ended up being a really nasty thing and really being a negative thing in my life. And my daughter just had been born, and I just got married, and it was just like,
wow,
stress.
Yeah. It was like all these life changes happening. So it was like, you know what, let's move forward. And so we just dumped that,
dude,
walked away.
This is like, I mean, this is a monumental moment. I mean, dude, this would break so many people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that was your life's work to this point.
It was, I mean, I'd spent, you know, from 2007 to 2011 building that whole thing.
And you were the grinder in that company. I mean, you were the guy on the floor.
I was there from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. every single day, 7 days a week, building that retail store. And then, and then pivoting to the supplement company, running both companies and doing both. And, it's no secret that, Art had a heart attack because of his drug abuse. And so I was really doing both companies full speed. And so, so basically wax that, start all over. And, here I am with my daughter and my wife, and I have a little bit of savings. It's like, all right, how the fuck where do we go from here?
Yeah.
And my buddy who owned Man Sports called me. He's like, hey, how about you come fucking work for me? And I was like, no fucking way. And I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to fucking do. I don't even know if I want to be in this industry. This place is a shithole. Got a bad taste in my mouth. This is just not good.
Yeah, man, it would be very easy to walk away from the fitness industry after that.
And we sat down and I looked at Man Sports again and he was like, why don't you buy it from me? And I looked at it and looked at the history of it and the science and innovation and all the things. And I was like, we could probably do something really cool here. We could probably do something really special here. And so we ended up working out a deal that was super fair and very generous and to him, to me, and bought the company and just never looked back.
That's awesome, man.
It's been a fun ride.
That's awesome, man. I can't believe. So, I mean, this guy was a blessing, obviously, for the friend that you'd had.
Everybody was a blessing. I mean, Art was a blessing, and Chris was a blessing, the guy that sold me Man Sports, and everybody's been, everybody that I've come into contact has just been a great, help. Like, there's never been a bad day, really.
That's awesome, man. I'll tell you a bad day. The day that we had to stop selling Novodron in our stores.
What?
Didn't that happen?
No.
What was that?
We had
Novodron XT?
Stock issues, not on your side.
Yeah. Never mind. We just had it dried up for 3 months. Yeah. I'll just never forget, dude, because there was a time when that was the only anti-estrogen product we had at the time.
Yeah, with the Remistade in it, yeah.
And so I remember just the call list for Novodron was 30 people long.
Did you guys, when you took over Man Sports, did you guys hit the ground run? What were the sales like? Were you already swamped with business as soon as you stepped into it, or was it like climbing a hill?
No, because when we bought the company, they had DMA in the pre-workout, so I discontinued that immediately. So I cut that off and took a bunch of returns.
And for our listeners, DMAA guys, this was the stuff that was in Jack 3D, and every other pre-workout,
everything at that point.
Every single thing at that point.
The writing was on the wall that was coming to an end, so we just didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah,
and so we just discontinued it. And we took a bunch of returns, and it was a huge bill we had to swallow, and that sucked. And then we were nationwide in Vitamin Shop at the time with one product. And I remember setting up our first call with Vitamin Shop, and we get on the call, and of course, the sales weren't good with the product that was in there. And I just told him, I said, look, man, it was Marvin. I was like, look, Marvin, I was like, this product fucking sucks. You really shouldn't sell it. It's not for your market and what you're doing. It's just not going to do good for you.
Yeah.
And I just think that you should discontinue it. We're going to discontinue it. We're going to get rid of it. And I just ask you one thing, that whenever I do have a good product, listen to me and give me a chance. And so that was, we discontinued that testosterone that was in there, testosterone that was in there. And a few months later, we had Novodron XT, and I called them up. I was like, just look at this, just give it a shot if you will. And then it became their number one selling testosterone booster nationwide in a couple of years.
That's freaking cool. Crazy, man. Yeah. That's so awesome.
Yeah. So it was.
Was that your I want to hear about the moment when Man Sports, when you guys built it up enough to where you felt like, man, I freaking made it. You could take a big deep breath and say, holy hell, this was all worth it.
I'm still waiting for that day.
Oh, okay. I love it.
Yeah. There's been cool parts of the business to where I think cool parts of the business to me are watching people buy cars or buy houses and be able to do stuff with their life. That's a really cool part of the business. People that have families and that whole thing, that's really cool. But for me personally, it's one of those things that as I've grown up, because I've really grown up with this company over the last 10 years, I'm 34 and I was 24 when we got it. It was one of those things that, what used to really stress me out and just cripple me, it doesn't anymore.
Right.
And so now it's I can excel and I can move day to day and I'm more effortless and be more focused and more determined and, have a little bit more clarity on the day-to-day basis, because the things that used to bother me and eat me alive and keep me up at night, I don't fucking care anymore.
Yeah. When it comes to business too, it's I don't know about you, but for me in my head, I always was I'll be able to relax a little bit when I get to this point. No. Then you get to that point. You're like, well, maybe when I get to this point. No, not that point. Maybe when I get to this point. Yeah. And it seems like you were saying, if you have big goals for your employees that are working underneath you, it just takes a long time and a lot of grinding to get to the point where you can actually relax. And, you know, I don't even know if you ever get to that point with business, probably.
Yeah, no, I think it's
some of the most successful people I know are just like as determined now as they have ever been, you know?
What's weird though, if you think about think of the most successful person you know, and think about their workload and the day-to-day problems they deal with. If that was just put on your plate at 8 a.m. when you walked in the office, it would cripple you.
Jeez, yeah.
But to that person, it doesn't even fucking bother them.
Yeah.
And what's the difference between him and you? Absolutely nothing. It's just, it's this mental
time doing it
mindset,
but it's mindset and it's mental blocks you put in front of you. Like, so how do we become that person that nothing bothers us and we can effortlessly move throughout our day so that we can get there faster?
For sure.
You know, and so it's one of those things where I'm constantly always thinking about, like, if you want to go like at a huge scale, like look at Elon Musk and the crazy companies and all the shit he runs. And like, I understand like having that many employees with one company.
Yeah.
I have like 12 and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Dude. Yeah. It's just straight crazy that he just was like, I'm going to buy, 11% of
Twitter. Yeah. Yeah.
Someone just because I want free speech.
A boss move.
Yeah. Dude, I want to know, kind of going back to when you made the transition from being a retail owner to owning the business, and then also you going through the life changes of having a daughter. Where did that mental resilience come from? Like back in the day, did you play sports, or did you have a dad that was tough on you and you put you in those type of situations, or were you just kind of like, yeah, I'm just going to go for this?
Yeah. How did you thrive there?
I have kind of an odd upbringing. My dad was never there, ever. And we moved to Texas when I was 9 from California. And my mom was a workaholic, so I kind of raised myself. She wasn't there most of my life.
Were you an only child as well?
She was a great mom. But yeah, she was never really there, present. But I don't know. I never really watched sports. I always thought that the guys I thought were cool were business owners.
Yeah.
And so I've had a full-time job since I was a kid. I used to mow lawns, and we had it was me, Steven, Ryan, and John, and we'd had SRJ Lawn Care, and Ryan and John would go mow the yards, and I would go door to door and I'd go sell it.
That's so awesome.
And that's when we were like 10. And then when I was 12 or 13, I could walk to like a local store that was like 2 miles away, and I would work, and they gave me a job. And so I'd work there every day after school. And I've had a full-time job since I was probably 13.
That's wild, man.
Yeah. And so it was just, I've always...
Your mom probably gave you a little bit more inspiration than you realized, because you saw her hustling, and it basically inspired you to want to do the same, or it made you feel like, okay, this is the way that you handle yourself.
This is what normal is.
This is how that's how you basically were like 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. at the retail store, no problem. I've seen my mom do that, a million times.
She gave me a huge belief system that, there were never problems, there were only solutions.
Yeah.
And so it was, there was, even when all that stuff was happening, of course it was stressful. I think that's when I probably lost my hair to begin with, but it was stressful and all these things were happening, but there was no plan B. It was burn the ships. Let's keep moving.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude.
Dude, I had a question regarding something earlier, and now I lost it because Kyle started asking.
I cut you off like a son of a bitch that I am.
And I just can't think of it now.
I'm sorry, dude.
That's all good.
It's Friday, just cutting you off.
It's Friday. It's sunny. It's blue sky out.
The first time that I met you, the thing that stood out that I was most, I guess, inspired by, you were like, yeah, dude, I just started hunting 2 years ago.
That was it. Yeah, no one ever taught him. He had to teach himself.
Yeah. You were like, and there's a difference between like, I taught myself how to deer hunt, and I actually
went on a bear hunt.
No, wasn't it elk, or was it bear?
I did elk and bear.
Yeah. Which, if for anybody that's listening, the difference between those two is a lot of hiking, a lot of prepping, a lot of know-how that picking up on your own just out of nowhere is very hard to do. So when you told me that, I was like really blown away by that. Tell everybody the experience, or what got you into wanting to start a new passion like that, or start a new endeavor,
hobby.
a new hobby.
Yeah. So I've always loved the outdoors, and like as business progressed, I found myself wanting to, because you're in this like high stress environments where you're constantly on and always go, to where being in the woods and being by yourself was just something like just peaceful. Right. And so, I love the outdoors, and I always had this cool. I always loved the idea of being able to like cultivate and like harvest your own meat, and like that I thought was always super cool.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandfather was a huge hunter, so I spent a lot of time with him when I was in California, growing up with him fishing and this and that. So I got some time outdoors, and did realize I did like it. And so it kind of started with we went and looked at some stuff in Oklahoma. This is kind of the natural progression of it. We went and just looked at some stuff in Oklahoma. And I was like, let's just get outdoors. Let's just get outdoors. We got kids in the city.
Was this 2020 by chance? When there was like nothing else to do?
Pre-2020.
Okay.
So let's get the kids outdoors. Let's go do something. And so we went to go like find 5 acres or 10 acres in Oklahoma, just something to kind of go pedal around on. And I ended up buying like a 350 acre farm.
Damn.
Yeah.
5 or 10 acres to 350.
Well, it was like that scale where it was like, what, the price per acre, like the more you buy, the better. I was like, so let's just fucking buy all this. So we bought all that. And, we didn't really know what we were going to build out there. So I got a tiny school bus, or I got a full-size school bus to build a tiny home out of it, and parked it out there, and lived on the weekends. We spent, out there on the tiny school bus.
That's pretty dope, dude.
Dude, what the heck? How come I never seen this bus?
Yeah, I actually just sold the
bus. Pull
bus.
out the bus.
It's like into the wild, but like not freezing to death.
But dude, the school bus, like it had a kitchen with a full sink, had plumbing. We put an AC unit in it. It had a shower. I put a toilet in there, which put
was there utilities ran on the land?
I ran city water and city power to the school bus, so you could. I mean, it was a full on. I mean, you were good.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. And so,
what gave you the idea for a school bus?
Dude, you remember like those TV shows where you see people like take a pencil and they would trade up to like a car?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
a pen to like a Porsche.
Yeah. So I bought my wife this like 1970s Mustang that was super pimp for like our 7-year anniversary. And she drove it for like a year. And I was like, you still want this thing? She's like, no, I'm done with it. And I was like, okay, well, let's turn this into something cool. So I got on Craigslist one night and just started messaging people like that had tiny homes. And I was like, you want to trade a Mustang for a fucking whatever? And I messaged 100 people, and then one guy finally said yes, and it was a school bus. And I was like, here we got a school bus.
So was it done? Was it like it was a tiny home school bus to start?
It was mostly done. Mostly done. And
I mean, the utility stuff obviously separate, but I mean, like it was ready to rock. Basically.
It was mostly done. So we changed a few things, and like we changed the bedroom around a little bit, but yeah, it was mostly done. So then we got it here, and we took it to the land and built a deck around it and pimped it out, and it was super badass.
So it could drive though. You didn't have to trailer it.
I could drive. Yeah.
That's so baller.
Yeah. So
that's like a man-made mobile home.
Yeah. And then when we sold the farm, the people that bought it were like, we just don't want the school bus. And I was like, that's the only thing you lit. What? I was like, that's the coolest part about the fucking.
Yeah.
So we took it back and we kept it for a while, and then we sold it. Yeah.
Did you farm? So it's 350 acres. Anybody that doesn't know, that's a ton of land. Did you farm on it, or did you have somebody farm on it, or anything?
No, we didn't farm on it. We built trails, and we.
Oh, you guys had ATVs and stuff. Nice.
And we had guys come and bulldoze and kind of take care of it, and we'd take care of that. We had water tanks put in and take care of all that, and then we'd set up food crops for the animals to try to bring animals in. And that's where we started like deer hunting but just like go back to your question. So I started like watching TV shows about hunting and this and that, and I was like, I want to try this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went out there and met some local guys. I was like, hey, I need to build some deer stands.
Yeah.
So I started building some deer stands and some deer blinds, and then started putting some food crops out. And then I did deer hunting, and I was like, this is cool, but you're kind of just sitting in a deer stand, from dusk to dawn, and like
really feel like you're hunting anything.
Mm-hmm. You're kind of feeding them, waiting for them to come in, and like, I mean, I get it if that's your thing, but I didn't really like it.
Deer hunting, there's lots of lonely days involved in deer hunting.
Yeah, and I love the outdoors. So just sitting out there and like seeing the wildlife was great, but like getting out there and like covering some ground is even better.
Right.
And so I had a buddy of mine that lived in Montana, and he was out here on a conference one year in Dallas one year, and I was telling him about my experience with deer hunting, and he was like, "Man, you should just come elk hunting with us." And I was like, "Dude, don't fucking say that, because I will show up." And like 3 months later,
100% will be there. Yes.
Yeah. 3 months later, I was in Montana elk hunting.
That's awesome.
And got into that, and you got into elk hunting, and elk hunting is fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like if you do public land self-guided like we were doing, and like I love Dave to death, but like we're learning together.
Yeah.
And it's fucking tough.
Dude, I can imagine public land too.
So in Montana, you got to get a tag, I'm guessing.
So yeah, you get a tag, which basically to date, I've gone elk hunting like 4 years in a row or something like that, and I've basically donated my money to the wildlife, organization. So I'm really I really care about the habitat right now. I'm really trying to find the right elk for me. But then like last year, we're like, you know what? Let's throw a bear hunt in the mix. Like, why not? And so we went bear hunting.
Was this a guided one or another
self-guided? Oh. Yeah. And so we tagged out 2 bears last year. That was super fun. And I got a bear rug on the way, and we got a bunch of bear sausage. We've been eating bear sausage every weekend, and that's super good. And
that's
you didn't bring any bear sausage?
That's wild, dude.
I will next. But so like my favorite dish is like what I'll do is I'll do like biscuits and gravy, and like a white pepper gravy, and then I'll put like the bear sausage in there. It's like a Jimmy Dean. Oh, dude, it's
so good.
Dude, that sounds amazing.
Yeah,
man. I like.
What's bear taste like?
It's super good.
I mean, does it taste like anything else?
No, it just tastes like sausage, like pork sausage. It's super good.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
So how many before you decided like I'm gonna go elk hunt? How many deer did you shoot?
One.
Yeah, and then you're like I'm gonna go right to elk.
Yeah. It was like let's just fucking go.
Yeah.
Have you gotten an elk yet?
No.
Yeah.
No. It's. I mean, we're definitely. I mean, like it's one of those things where my buddy that I have a buddy of mine that goes and like he hires a guide and every year he goes and kills. He's like, motherfucker, for as much money you've spent so far, you could have like easily gone and killed like a huge elk with a guide. And I was like, it's part of the journey, man.
Yeah,
man. And it's like,
I appreciate that.
Man, when I first started, so
if you got a guide, it ain't you.
And I mean, like, it's not guaranteed,
Sure.
if you have a guide, but
they're like, hey, I found it for you. Go.
Yeah. And if any guys are listening right now and they want to go hunting, I'll go listen and we'll I'm fucking down.
I'll pay your way. Let's go.
No, but it's just that's been our journey and what we've been doing. It's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot. And I mean, my ultimate goal one day is like to take my son and pass it on.
Yeah.
And not just pass it on, but really just spend time with him in the woods.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why, like, I got him a dirt bike because I wanted him to, like, one day for us to go, like, take Harleys fucking across the U.S. and go do cool shit.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I'm out here doing this is because, one day I want to take my son to go do, cool shit in the woods and be able to get lost and have fun and be resourceful and for him to build that confidence to do his own thing.
That's awesome, man.
There's something really,
I love that.
There's something so powerful about getting in the back of the woods. Like, I'm not talking like when the gate ends, that's when you start.
Yeah.
And you just start fucking going all day long until it's fucking dark, and you start walking back in the dark. And when you're back there, people haven't walked on that land for hundreds of years, and everything out there wants to eat you. And if you twist your ankle and hurt yourself, you're fucking done. There's no reception. There's nobody to help you. There's nothing to come get you. There's something cool about that.
Yeah.
To put yourself
man.
in that situation where, you're just out there. It's a really powerful feeling that's like, hey, I need to be careful. Every step I take is a very important step. Like everywhere I go, I need to be aware of what I'm looking for and what I'm doing because a snake could come out and get you, and then you're in a world of hurt.
Yeah. Everything you pack matters.
Everything you pack matters.
How much it weighs. Mm-hmm. I've watched a ton of YouTube videos on people.
You're speaking
down.
Kyle's language right now for sure.
Yeah. It's a really good experience, and like especially out west, like when you're in Montana, like that's the real deal.
Yeah.
Like there's
dude, I went on my hike with Montana last year and they were like, hey, there was 2 bear sightings today. Like, hey, like, I was like, has anybody died this year? They're like, I mean, yeah, last week a girl was bike riding and she got her face torn off.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. They're like, yeah. Like she was decapitated.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
I relate so much with, your feelings on being outdoors, like getting rid of your phone and not having anybody able to get a hold of you.
Yeah.
And then also, I'm kind of like you in the fact that I grew up sporadically, like pheasant hunting in Kansas. I wasn't hunting on a regular basis. I moved to Missouri or to Springfield, Missouri, and my buddy, who I hunt with all the time now, got me into waterfowl hunting. And at the time, we had no money, we had no resources, we were going to school. And so on the weekends we would, drive to the middle of nowhere and we'd go duck hunting and we'd, throw 50 pounds of decoys on my back and just walk for miles and miles and miles into a place that we've never been to. Hope there's water there. Hope that there's ducks that are flying in the area, throw out a bunch of decoys and wait for the sun to come up because you're walking out there in pitch black. And we'd sit out there all day, and we'd camp out there, and it was just like, it's just the best, man. It's unlike any other experience. Like you were saying, it's when you're out there and it's pitch black, there's absolutely no light from a city. Like you were saying, I've seen mountain lions out there. I've seen, just tons of stuff. And this is in Missouri. This isn't even thinking about Montana, where Montana is like 10 times that, it's just, it's the best, man. It's,
watching the sunrise is a really powerful thing.
Yeah. Listening to the sounds and, it's just, dude, it's just being
great for the soul, man.
Yeah.
Great for the soul.
You have to be 100% present.
Dude, do you bow hunt at all or you just do rifle?
Yeah, so that's funny because so we went a couple years without killing an elk with a rifle. So we thought, well, we'll get
maybe we'll have better luck with a bow.
Yeah, which is fucking 100 times harder. Which I don't know. We got to take our bows for a walk, so it was fun. But no, but yeah, I do it all. But am I great at it? Absolutely fucking not.
When you're out in the woods and you got your bow, do you ever think like, I might as well just like take a shot at this squirrel or something?
1000%. I guess I'd be able to eat something.
Yeah, I was like, I got a lot of squirrels with it.
Yeah, squirrel nuggets would be better than no nuggets.
Right.
Yeah.
You like my elk on the wall right here?
I do love that elk on the wall.
Yeah, dude.
It's not real.
Does it look legit?
Is it not real?
No, man. I've killed 2 ducks in my life. That's
Did you kill any with me?
Yeah.
It sets the mood, though.
No, you know what? No, we didn't even see one.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure we went hunting and it was 65 degrees.
It was
out.
me, you, and Mike, and it was 65 degrees, and somehow my brand new waders got a hole in them. I sat on the blind and there was a nail coming out.
You know what would look really good in this room is if you went out and killed like a huge grizzly bear in Alaska, and then it had it mounted like standing up like right here in the because it's tall enough where you could totally do that.
Oh, dude, that would be sick.
Dude, my honest dream
there
would be a straight up moose head because I just think moose are so cool.
Moose are cool. Caribou are cool.
Very
dude,
cool.
you be our guide, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, at my rate, we'd kill nothing.
Yeah, but it'd still be fun.
we'd
kill some squirrels.
Yeah,
dude.
have some beers. That'd be good.
I get an A for effort, but you'd have a good time. I guarantee that. And you would have a belly full of food, but it may not be like elk meat. It would be like Cheerios and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Yeah.
Well, before we start a hunting podcast, let me switch gears back to fitness for a second.
Sorry.
There we go.
That's all good.
But I mean, dude, to be honest, walking, elk hunting is
That's fitness, man.
Yeah, you probably walked 100 miles in that weekend.
1,000%.
Or that week or however
or
long.
more.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how far you walk for that stuff, right? Like, I mean, just
that's why Cam Haines is always running marathons or whatever he is because he's always up in the mountains having to walk so far.
All the guys that I meet that kill that actually fill their tags, it's because they don't quit.
Yeah,
they get past to that, they get to that gate and they just go, and they go until they kill an animal.
Yeah,
and it's if you try to like just do like sunrise, a sunrise hunt and a sunset hunt, like good fucking luck.
Yeah, you
got to be moving because it's you definitely want to know the land and where you're going, but you also in signs that you're looking for. But you just got to be a little lucky. You got to get out there and put the work in.
Yeah.
Dude, I was when I was up in Montana and I was having a conversation with a local in Missoula, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I was like, you ever encounter a bear?" He's like, "Yeah." He was like, "I was trail running, just running. Like I had nothing. I had no bear spray, nothing." And he came up on a bear and he had to like talk him down.
Yeah.
Hey
bear.
Yeah. He was like, "Whoa, bear, whoa."
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit. And I was just like, knowing what you know, like, how do you not run with some bear spray or something, right?
Yeah. And bear spray is the best thing you can have out there.
Right.
Because, I mean, under like whenever your adrenaline's pumping and you pull out a gun, you try to shoot it, good luck. And then also
miss and just piss it off.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and like, at least when you use like bear spray, like it's more like a shotgun spray where it kind of encompasses them and then like it messes up their vision and they can't really breathe that well and they want to get away. And then also like you're in their territory, man. Like
right. You're not here to hurt the bear in that scenario.
You're in his house.
Right.
And so like if you get on him, like you're kind of your fault.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. But on an entrepreneurship note,
here we go.
Nice segue.
Yeah. Well, dude,
talk about bear spray.
I remember my question that I had earlier. Oh, so this is where it's coming in. And you said you grew up, idolizing, entrepreneurs, business owners, and I would just like to hear, what some of those names were. And did you ever get a chance to, ever meet them or follow up with them, et cetera?
Never really met them. My mom used to listen to a bunch of like, motivational stuff like Tony Robbins and all those guys.
Sure.
And so
Tony Robbins is awesome.
Yeah. And so it was like, as soon as I could, like I was processing that stuff and digesting that stuff. And the really cool thing is she'd go like these business seminars, these motivational like talks and this kind of stuff. And like, she would take me with her. And so I was like, 12, 13, like going to these conferences I had no business being at, but felt cool. It felt cool to be around these people that were like super pumped up on life.
Making moves and yeah.
And they're excited about stuff. So, I always just thought it was really fun. And I always like had this idea. I was like, I'm going to go to school for international because I want to do international business. I want to just something international. It just sounded cool.
Mm-hmm.
And, I actually ended up dropping out of high school like my sophomore year and definitely didn't do international business college or like that. And so or going to school for that. And, but here we are today, like we're shipping products all over the world and, it's a really fun.
Yeah. Now it's Man Sports International.
What made you drop out of school, your sophomore year?
I got to that point in high school where I was like, so I don't like this to begin with. And the harder I work, I don't earn any money, and I'm working every hour. Like I'm working after school full time. Like I'm actually earning money doing that. This isn't for me.
Yeah.
And so and a lot of my friends were older at the time. So I just dropped out of high school and kind of never looked back until I got a job at a retail store where the guy was like, "Hey, I can't have a dropout worker for me. You have to go get your GED." And that was a great gift he gave me.
Yeah, it was cool that he did that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So I went back and got my GED. And then at that point, my mom was like, "I really want you to try college. Will you just try it?" And so I went and took 2 stabs at it for like 2 semesters and just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And kind of just figured it out from there.
I feel like
it's understandable, man. You learn with experience, I think, is like, you just know how you learn well.
Well, and all my friends were getting out of college a couple of years later and they had had debt and all these things. And, none of them were using their degrees for anything they're actually
traditional
doing.
college is at an all-time low right now in enrollment as far as it's gone down the last 3 years.
Our generation was the last generation where I think the consensus was when you were in high school, it's like, you got to go to college. If you don't go to college, what are you going to do? And now I just don't think that's just not the case because of the amount of information that's on social media.
Yeah.
And there's so many people out there that are like, you don't have to go to college. Yep. You can do this. And this is actually, you don't have to go into debt. You don't have to be 50K.
God, we need all these people to want to be a tradesperson because my God, there were so few on tradespeople right now, man. I mean, plumbers, electricians, like
when I'm interviewing somebody, I'm not looking where they went to school.
Never.
I'm really interviewing them, trying to figure out who the fuck they are.
Yeah.
My dude, here, like, I can teach you how to sell fucking protein powder.
Yeah.
I can teach you how to do invoicing. I can teach you all the ins and outs of the business. But what I can't teach you is to be a good person.
Yeah.
I can't teach you to have drive. I can't teach you to be here 30 minutes early every day. Like, if you got those things in you and they're ingrained in your body and your bones and like in your marrow, like, I can teach you the rest. I can teach you how to make 6 figures.
Yeah.
But you got to have that core stuff. And sometimes college is good for people like that because they need to go to school just to be able to get out of that shithead phase.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you on that.
That was me for sure.
And there's a point to that, but a lot of people don't need that.
Yeah. Some people need that structure in the beginning. You know what I mean?
Especially when military to them.
When they get rid of the, their family element that they had before, you know what I mean? Their situation, they had never been away from the home, away from their home. And so that was me whenever I got down to school. I'll never forget like the first time, my parents left, whatever, the next day, have a full day of like, standard college. Right. And, I'm like, wow, we're just like living school now. I just don't go back to my house. Yeah. This is just where I live now. I'm living school. I'm just surrounded by my co-students, if you will. I'm just like, this is wild as times.
It's a trip, isn't it?
What's your go-to interview question to figure out if somebody has drive?
Well, I mean, number one, like we'll do a couple of things. Like we'll ask them, hey, we need you to bring 2 copies of your resume and 2 copies of references. I just want to see if they can even like take direction.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't even care about the fucking references. I don't care if you bring, but I want to know, like, can you take direction? That's the one thing. And then 2 is like, if they're not 10 minutes early, I won't even fucking interview them.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't look at your Waze or your fucking Google Maps to see that it's going to be 35 minutes of traffic and you just thought it was going to be 20 and then you're late, fuck off.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things like that. And then like the number one question I always ask people is, what's the hardest thing you ever went through in your life?
It's a good one.
It's a really good one.
And then how did you get through it?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we have to be aware, like when we're interviewing these guys, like they're super nervous.
Mm-hmm.
They're super nervous. So they're going to say fucked up shit. They're going to say shit that they shouldn't say. They might open up too much. They might vomit from the mouth a little bit about certain things. And so it's like, it's our position to sit back and go, okay, well, I get kind of nervous sometimes. We're all human. Like, honestly, like, it's kind of good that they're not kind of, making, some mistakes.
If somebody's nervous, a lot of times it's a signal that they actually care about what they're interviewing for,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
they actually want that opportunity.
Yeah.
The drive thing, I always try and dig into somebody's past and see, what's the biggest accomplishment that they've had, if they actually care, if they have a high standard for themselves and they care about winning, if you can find that person, then you got to get, because like you were saying, you can teach them all the other stuff.
Yeah.
You can teach a monkey how to do payroll, but finding somebody who likes to win and is like dedicated to winning, totally different.
It's not about the highs, it's about the lows.
Yeah.
You have to find somebody that's been through lows, because perseverance is everything. And every time you start a new career, there's always going to be a time in that career where it's going to suck. And you have to know that they're not going to quit when it gets hard.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be months where it's going to be hard, or they're frustrated, or you're frustrated with them, or you're learning each other and you're trying to figure it out. But if they have a quitter mentality, it's not going to work out.
Do you tell people, this is a good question, do you tell people when they like have that kind of, how do I phrase this? I'm sorry. Do you tell people the reason why they don't get the job in that kind of a way where it's like, hey man, you know, you quit a lot of things and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think this is a good fit because of that? I'm always pretty transparent with people about, you know, like, well, if we have like, we're pretty good at getting it down to like 2 candidates before we get to that point. And then we always pay them respect of like calling them and letting them know, hey, we hired somebody else. They were a better fit. This is why, and so forth. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we don't ever like drag people out or like leave them hanging. For sure. Which I think is important. But I also think, you know, I'm somebody who likes to tell people what I think is the truth.
Yeah.
I'm direct. And it's one of those things where, you know, it may not sit well with some people, but I'm like, you know, maybe a year from now, maybe 2 years from now, you'll say thank you. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to help you.
Well, we've had people come back and interview again that have they've dedicated themselves to fixing the specifics where we're like, hey man, this is not a good fit because of this. Yeah. They go home, they work on themselves, they come back and they're great employees for us.
Yeah. Some of my favorite employees, I said to them, you know, and I'm usually the final interview guy. And I just tell them, hey, you know, I don't think you're ready. Here's what I think you need to work on. If you truly value being a part of this team, take the time to do this and reapply.
Yeah.
And I'll love seeing that you reapplied if you do, because I know that you really worked on what we talked about, you know, and we'll see. You know, we recently had a guy just do that.
What's your opinion? Where do you think the fitness industry is going in the next 10 years? Do you have a good opinion of the fitness industry as a whole? Bad opinion? Like from your perspective as a brand owner, what's your thoughts on that?
It's getting broader.
Yeah.
It's, you know, you used to be so pigeonholed with like certain sports. And now it's just getting broader and broader and broader. So it's really important for you to have brand identity of who you're really attacking. Mm-hmm. You used to be able just to try to go, you know, to be something to everybody and everything. And now you have to be very specific.
Yeah.
You know,
what's your guys' niche?
Right now we're trying to go after a younger demographic. You know, I think that's really important for us to stay young.
You making TikToks?
We are making fucking TikToks.
Does it make you want?
He's like, I'm not making TikToks.
Hey, is Steven making TikToks?
Steven is making TikToks.
Oh shit!
My handle is Steven Sups. Yeah, and dude, listen, I was a guy that literally deleted all my social media a couple years and was like, "Fuck this! I'm a ghost. Deal with it."
I'm gonna sit in the woods.
Yeah, exactly. I did. And
absolutely.
Somebody else fucking figured it out. If I could get rid of this phone, this black mirror, I would. And but now I've kind of come into like a being of like just embracing it.
Yeah.
Enjoying the journey. And like, you know, it is, you know, it feels dumb to talk about sometimes, but it's just a tool.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, if you can look at it as a tool and you can remember it's a tool and it's not, you know, don't let it overtake your life, good to go.
And I mean, to the point where, you know, I deleted Instagram and now I'm back on Instagram and I'm trying to do stuff there. And you know, this is my first podcast. We're doing this. We're building out a podcast room at our office. Like we're launching a podcast, you know, and, you know, we're trying to check every box.
Yeah.
And
podcasts are great because you can just talk to it's like hanging out with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I used to listen to so many podcasts. I was like, you know how it is in a retail store. You know, you have people come in and they'll sit in there for like an hour and bullshit with, people. And because we're not in the retail stores as much anymore, I was like, man, how can we kind of like recreate that where we're having...
We want to continue to create a relationship with the people that follow our brand.
Well, like, what is it? People buy people. They're not buying products.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like, that's why you guys are successful is because people bought enough of you guys to go, this is what I want to get behind these guys.
Yeah.
I want to get behind what they're fucking doing. I want to see them win. I don't like the other guys. I like these guys. I'm rooting for these guys. And at a certain point in your business, like we can't interact with every single person, but what we can do is we can pull back the curtains and show them who we truly are.
For sure.
And if they like us, great. If they don't, fuck off.
Yeah.
You know, but we can pull back the curtains and really let people see who we are and be like, hey man, we make quality products and we do good things and that's all cool and all, but like, this is who you're supporting when you buy our products.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the whole purpose of our podcast, man.
I've noticed with you guys too, you're starting to do like meetups, like meetup workouts and stuff like that, culture stuff.
Community.
Yeah. Which I mean, for us, that's always been, you know, community is such a big deal, you know?
I mean, our goal is 100% that when people think of community with their business, that they think of our brand because we do it so well. You know what I mean?
What's that old joke? It's like, if only the best products were the best selling products. Because they're not.
Yeah.
They're fucking not. The best products aren't the best selling products. It's the best marketed products that are usually winning. But
correct.
But there's a way to win there. That's like the cheat code.
Yeah.
The cheat code is like, the best products can have the best communities.
For sure.
And then the best communities will sell your products and they'll get behind you. And you guys have that figured out. And we're starting to figure that out.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think for us specifically, people like human interaction, man. You know, as much as online, you know, people can say that everything's going online. At the end of the day, like, I just like interacting with people, and there's certain things I'm not going to buy online because I want to like talk to somebody about it. Yeah. And, you know, the people that I talk to, I want to build a relationship with, and I want to have a guy that, you know, I can send people to that I trust. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And, you know,
and it's
we also realize
interaction that we're talking to, because you can do human interaction through social media.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, you know, there's going to be people are going to buy supplements through online, but you know, if somebody's buying supplements through a retail location, we want to be that option for them. Yeah. You know, that's why I appreciate you saying that you're refocusing on retail, because I also think retail is great for if you get in good with a relationship with a retailer, they're going to recommend your product over and over and over and over and over.
They're going to build your brand for you
for years. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
no, there's it's the education part of the products that you can't always do effectively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
And that's what the guys in the actual trenches, the guys behind the counter that are recommending the products, going, hey, here's why this is a good product. Mm-hmm. You know, this is why you should buy this product, and that's what we're focused on.
Yeah. What are you doing, bro?
I'm going to open this up. I'm going to type some stuff
out
real quick.
It's dead, dog. Sorry.
Okay. It's all right. I'll have to phone it.
Are you going to do the rapid fires?
I am.
Yeah.
We're going to eventually.
Dude, so tell me, did you, how long you been in Texas?
I've been in Texas since, I was 9. So what is that?
You ever going to move out of Texas outside of the school bus in Oklahoma?
Man, Texas has gotten a little wild recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what Texas used to be and what Texas is today, they're two different things.
Is that, you think that's from so many people coming from other states?
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's like the traffic component of it.
Yeah.
But I met a guy one time, and I was on his property. We were hunting, and he had his couple boys out there that were kind of help us out do some stuff, and we were hog hunting actually. Yeah. And I said, I said, do you love this place? And he goes, man, listen, life's like a train. If you get to pick your last stop, you're pretty lucky.
Yeah.
This is my last stop. This is where I'm going to die.
That's so cool,
That's
man.
Awesome.
And Texas isn't my last stop if I get to choose.
So I'm guessing from this conversation, the last stop's going to be a little bit more away from a city.
And I'm not saying it needs to be Montana. It could be like, I love Central America too. I have like Central America has a really special place in my heart. And I love Costa Rica, and I want to explore Nicaragua, and I want to do more stuff out there. I think that's a really cool place and a really cool community, and like those people are really special.
Yeah.
And I can learn a lot out there.
Have you already visited down there before?
I've been to Costa Rica a couple times.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. And Nicaragua was like on the next place on my list I want to go check out.
Was when you went to Costa Rica, what was the trips like?
I went to Jaco. We did some stuff out there. That was super fun. I took my family to Tamarindo. It was like a huge surf community. Really cool place. Really fun.
Do you know how to surf?
Horrible at it. No, I almost drowned in Hawaii, and I almost drowned in Costa Rica. I'm done with that thing.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
You know, I'm good at boogie boarding, right?
Yeah.
My kids love it too. So
I used to skimboard. My mom lives in Florida. Not very good at it.
Yeah. It's fun to get out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. My daughter's actually really good at the boogie boarding too. It's super cute. But yeah, I don't know where it would be, but yeah, somewhere out there where there's less traffic and the mindset's a little different.
Yeah. Yeah. Texas is like, dude, I told you last time we talked, I love Texas.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite places, but I definitely could see, because where you're at in Dallas is a monstrosity of a city, because it's not just Dallas.
Yeah.
You know, there's
what part of Dallas are you in?
I'm in East Dallas. So like, we're like in the heart of Dallas. Like East Dallas is one of the oldest parts of Dallas, where, you know, homes were built in the 20s and 30s, and you know, it's an older part of the city. It's really green. There's a little lake there called White Rock Lake that we live really close to, and it's super green out there. It looks just like a little mini Austin.
Yeah,
super cool. But dude, even the last like 5 years, the population, I don't know what the population numbers are, but it's got to be close to being doubled what it was. Yeah, and dude, and beyond that too,
all these California transplants, or
I mean, I am one of them. Like early on, I guess, but like
way early.
Yeah, but you know what I hate about it mostly is like, I love the idea that people that are like in their 20s and 30s can go buy a home and invest into it and like buy into that future. You can't fucking do that anymore.
Yeah,
you got to live an hour away from work. You got to live an hour away from Dallas to fucking do that.
That's most big cities now, man.
Dude, we bought our house in 2014 and maybe 2015, and it's like doubled in price.
Yeah.
And like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like, yeah, we have a bunch of equity, awesome, cool shit. But what about my fucking guys who are trying to buy houses like nearby where we live?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's not even feasible.
No, and like apartments are just going up, and up, and like the property taxes are going through the roof, and like, dude, it's like at a certain point, it's like, guys, like we have to like, where is like the humanization of this going? Hey, like not everything is just commoditized,
right?
Like we have to have a place where like people can grow and breathe and live and like be. It's just fucking out of control.
The problem is, I mean, not to get political, but they pumped a ton of money into people's hands that were investors that could come and jack up the market, you know?
Yeah.
And now it's like, you're right. You think that a crash has to come at some point, but you know, look at Denver.
Yeah.
You know, Denver is even worse than Dallas, and I don't see it coming back down ever.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't think it's coming back in Texas. I mean, because just the inventory is so low and cost of materials are so high that they can't. If you build a new house, it's so expensive, and lots are crazy expensive.
Dude, I got a buddy who has a special needs son that was just born, and they need a bigger house. Yeah. And he said, this is just, we're talking like 2 days ago. They put an offer on a house, and it went for $80,000 over asking cash, and it was like a $650,000 house. And he's just like, who has $750,000 in cash?
Yeah.
He's just like, how does this
private
even
equity
happen?
firm is who has
Dude,
that.
he's just like, how does this happen?
Yeah.
You know, he just couldn't believe it. And he's just like, how am I supposed to, and he's just, dude, he's like beside himself. Like he doesn't know what to do. He's the, leader of his household, probably like how you felt when you were 22.
Yeah.
He's just like, dude, you could see it in his face, man. He's freaking out. And I'm just like, listen, dude, like,
I think that's there's going to cause migrations into cities that are, second tier cities a lot.
And I also think that just parts of town, you need to start being okay with living there.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like you're just going to have to start looking at parts of town that you wouldn't think to live in, but the houses are still affordable there. Dude, there's houses right near me that are $150,000 and they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Not kidding. But they're turnkey. You know what I'm saying? Like someone already flipped it. They bought it for $30,000. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, it's possible. You know what I mean? You're just, I don't.
It might not be possible in Dallas.
Yeah, I know.
Kansas City.
That's my guess is that's what's going to happen. Is just areas that people don't typically want to live in people are going to start living there.
Well, I mean, like the bubble used to be like if you lived 20 minutes north, you was like, "Ooh, you make that drive," and now it's like 40, 50, 60.
Oh, you only have to drive 20 minutes?
Yeah,
that's
like now,
amazing.
Yeah.
I got a buddy who lives north of Frisco, and the little community that they live in, it's not little at all. Yeah. It's massive. Yeah. What do they call those down there? They're like self-contained housing communities. It's got its own grocery store. It's got its own bar and stuff.
Every 3 mile radius has everything.
Yeah.
Like every 3 mile radius has a huge gym,
a McDonald's, a Chick-fil-A,
all of it,
a mattress firm,
everything. Like
a mattress firm.
There's a freaking mattress firm on every corner of every single city.
We joke around that if there's a mattress firm,
we can put a store there.
We're going to go there with a store.
It used to be Chipotle. Like if you just like look at
Chipotle.
Chipotle's
also across from Mattress Firm.
Yeah,
and Chick-fil-A.
Chipotle's, man, because those motherfuckers getting double protein with their whey protein powder.
That's true.
Well stated, man.
Yeah.
So this was my big question I had for you for this podcast, dude. Kyle and I have been doing this a long time, as you know, but dude, we're really, really trying to get better. Like really trying to get better, and we're not online, and I don't think we're going to be online not for a very long time, and so. You've been to a lot of retail stores. You've visited a ton. You call on a lot. What do you think we can do better? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think we're missing, or who impresses you and why?
It doesn't get better than you guys. It's fucked up. I wish I had a better answer for you. I've toured the world.
This was not like a giant ego stroke.
I was about to say.
I'm
dead serious.
This is the one example. That's the dumb question because I'm gonna tell you, it doesn't get better than you guys. You gotta feel. And it's like. It's not a dumb question, but like, let me say this. Like I've toured the country, I've toured the world, I've toured the country. I've seen retail stores all over the place. And I always am I'm always like, S2 does it like this. S2 does it like this. S2 does it like this.
And you're talking to them, you're saying?
Mm-hmm. And it just doesn't get better. Like, dude, I still get letters from a protein bar I bought 4 years ago from one of your stores. The guys message me, email, or not message me, they write me a letter still.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. The amount of money you spend on postage, like you guys.
We spend a lot of money on postage.
It's
a lot.
Retailers don't know the secret sauce of what you guys do, and if they did, It'd be wild to see. But
dude, the secret sauce is honestly the MFCO project, and it's all they have to do is listen to Andy's podcast. He gives it away.
What's crazy about what we do is like it's just you could tell somebody what we do, and they think like they will take it and they'll do like 70% of it. And it's like no, we do 100% of it, and we do it every time.
This is the best analogy I got. Everybody tries.
And we're still not perfect. I'm not saying that we're perfect.
Oh no, like people ask this all the time, and I'm like, dude, we'll tell you exactly our playbook. And you won't follow it because you don't think some of the stuff we do actually matters. And so it's no different than when, somebody who's training for a bodybuilding show and they're really looking shredded and they're getting really freaky and it's 2 weeks out or 3 weeks out and somebody's inspired and they see him and they're like, dude, what do you do? And like, I can hand you my diet, man, but you will not follow it. Yeah. And that's just the truth. Yeah. Like, you don't really want to look like this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
They would switch out a couple of the protein sources.
Yeah, they're going to start telling themselves like, oh, like I can just have this protein bar or I can eat this instead. And so people are going to look at our playbook and be like, I can just write them an email and it's free. I don't need to write them a thank you card.
And the thing about it's like for what you guys are doing, there's so much that goes into it. It's such a slow growth play because you can't do it at a fast pace.
Yeah.
Time, man.
Because you can't, it's people. Mm-hmm. You have to find the right people that are actually going to execute the playbook.
Yeah, dude, that's actually kind of what sucks about our business model kind of is that we're just never going to be like the company that just pops up
100 in
300
3 months
stores because it's like at the end of the day, you have to find the right people. You have to train them, I always tell our guys when they get hired, I'm like, you're going to suck for like 6 months. You're just going to not be good for 6 months. It's going to take you that long to do things the way that we want you to do them. And you got to be fine with that. Yep. That's why we don't hire anybody that's like, I'm just looking for a job for a year. So it's hard to find those people.
But would you rather have 10 stores that outperform 30 or 40 or 30 or 40 shitty fucking stores?
That's true. That's the way we kind of look at it.
I'd rather have 10 headaches instead of 30 or 40 shitty ones.
That's true.
Which would give you a lot bigger headaches, right?
Yeah,
dude, that's a really good point. And the people that work for us, we give a lot of weight to trying to learn all this information because it's a lot of information. I'm sure we confused some people earlier on the the Agmatine and citrulline stuff we were talking, but it's not just that. It's 6 months to remember everybody's name that walks in the door, to know all those regulars and know what their favorite pre-workout is, and that's. I mean, dude, all our reviews, we explain this to our staff a lot, but it's like our staff is our number one product, right? Our people, like you said. And it's purely because of the way they treat them and the way they care about the customer. And so when you look at our reviews, no one talks about the products. Yeah. They only talk about how they were treated.
We used to play that game in retail when we'd have like staff be there. When people would customers walk in the store, whoever could remember the customer's name would win.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like that was a game we'd always used to play.
Dude, I mean, I was sincere in that question, but I genuinely appreciate that feedback. And we're just going to keep trying, man. Because, dude, and in my head, I'm like, we haven't evolved enough, So the last time I saw you guys, it was I think it was April of last year. I think we went to Red Door Grill.
Yeah. I think it was April or March of last year. And we were talking and like, that was the one thing I took away from that meeting was because I was like, how do you guys find the right people? And you guys told me like, look, we find people that we know and we trust. We know they're good people and they're in other industries that they may be unhappy in those industries. And so when I started looking for more people with our company, we have the strongest team we've ever had. 10 years in, we have the strongest fucking team we've ever fucking had. And it was such a great piece of advice because we applied it to where like when we're looking for somebody like, hey man, I know you're currently in this industry, but are you happy?
Yeah.
And if you're not, we have a really great opportunity here. And I think you'd be really happy here. And to go one step further with it, nowadays the market's so competitive with employees, good pay is not enough anymore.
Right.
Good pay is just that's the
expectation.
That's the expectation. And now they need to be truly happy in their workplace if they're going to stay a long time.
Right? Yeah.
And so
and then being happy is from you genuinely caring about them and what they're trying to and what they're trying to accomplish themselves.
We really try and turn all of our employees into like scouts too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we're very much like, hey, if you find somebody and you're in a conversation with them and you notice they have the same core values as us, you need to float out the idea of like, hey man, where do you work? Yeah. Because,
that's the only way they grow faster and their careers grow faster.
That's how we found our DM. I recruited our DM away from Enterprise. Yep. He was like, I'm tired of renting cars. And I said, well, hey dude, would you rather sell protein? Yeah. That was 4 years ago.
If customers don't shop with us, it's like, well, how can we possibly know that they want to work here? Yeah. You never shopped with us before. And I'm not saying we're not trying to recruit you as a customer. It's just like, how could we possibly hire you if you don't even know if you love us or not?
Your biggest fans.
Always.
That's how they start.
Always.
Is that how you guys do it? Do you guys hire people from other parts of the country, or are they primarily in Dallas already?
Usually in Dallas, because we've had to interact with them. We have to know them, who they truly are. And I can never like uproot somebody, move them across the country unless
And then they suck.
Dude, I can't do a Zoom call over a face-to-face.
No.
I still can't do it. I just don't trust it.
Like Caitlin, who's our customer service and like operations specialist, she started as a squad member.
Yeah.
And so she was just a squad member.
Is it kind of like an affiliate?
And then she made it a point to come out and work out at the gym and asked if she could come out, and she did. And when we had an opening, I was like, hey man, I think she's a super cool chick. She's super hard worker and she's got a cool background. Like, we should interview her. And we brought her in, and like she just outranked everybody. And she knew the products, and she cared about the company, and like, dude,
she looked at it as a genuine opportunity. I love that.
She's a fucking rock star.
Yeah, well, dude, I love when people come in and they look at it as an opportunity, because you can tell how fast they're trying to be a contributing team member.
Yeah.
Right. They're not cool with just being like, I'm the person training. I have an excuse to not contribute. Right. Like, I can just sit around and watch and kind of learn as everybody else is working. I'm just going to like learn as I go.
And they care about it like it's their own. Like, you can never expect everybody to act or operate like an owner.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is never going to happen.
But when they jump in and take pride in it like that, you're like, dear God, you get it. Thank you.
Dude, it's such it's a point of like, you can exhale. You're like, hey, when I'm not there, like, it may not be done the way I'd get it done, but they're getting it done the way they would get it done.
Yeah.
And
they're making sure that it got done.
Sometimes it's a better fucking way.
Yeah.
Because we're not that fucking smart.
Yeah. Man. None of us are.
Dude.
And so like,
That comment right there though is like, you just really, at the end of the day, you need somebody that cares like deeply about it.
Yeah.
We always talk about ownership mindset. We want to hire people, and we want to cultivate people that have an ownership mindset. Like, you look at the people that walk in that door. Imagine that everything that's happening in that store is your money.
Yeah.
Like, imagine you went to, you took out a business loan and you've put your nuts on the line, and this is your business. How are you treating that customer? And as quickly as you can get somebody to get into that mindset, the better they're going to be. The better the store is going to perform, and also the faster that they're going to progress and make more money and move into higher paying positions.
1000%.
So,
all right, let me get you into these
Jeff's got some rapid fire questions.
All right.
Are you laughing at me right now, Kyle?
No, I'm
with my
just
rapid fire
saying,
questions?
Do
you not like my rapid fire questions, Kyle?
I love them.
All right. You done sassing?
Do I have to answer these very fast, or can I?
You can just answer them at your pace. This is easy.
Let's go.
Rapid fire. That is pretty stupid. All right. Last book you read?
That's a good one.
I'm reading Marcus Aurelius. Why am I going blank here?
Philosophy.
It's a philosophy book. Yeah, it's great.
Stoicism.
For your personal development, what book has impacted you the most?
Customer for Life by Carl Sewell.
Very cool. Your favorite pre-workout not made by Man Sports?
Ooh, this is blasphemy.
It's not. Everybody's got a favorite that's not theirs. Someone's not afraid to make something.
No, for sure. God dang, I wish I need to take other people's products more. I haven't been.
How about back in the day? I mean,
back
just
in the day.
Yeah, when you worked at Results and Man Sports wasn't even your brand.
Yeah, do you remember the Jacked 3D, the lemon one that tastes like Sprite?
No.
Was it just
we sold
Jack
it for
lemon?
$23. I hated it.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, the margin dollars are horrible, but it tasted so good. It tastes like Sprite. That was super good.
Just Jacked Original.
Jacked Original.
Did you guys ever sell Muscle Spike? Did you guys ever carry Muscle Fortress?
No, but I know that brand.
It was like
ridiculous.
double the amount of DMA in it.
Yeah.
And the first time I ever took it, I remember feeling like I was actually on drugs, and I didn't touch DMAA for like a year after that.
Dude,
I was like, that was too much.
I often try other people's like high stimulant things just to see how they are, but I don't know. Just not.
I'm not a high stim guy
favorite
anymore,
protein not named by Man Sports.
I mean, it's any cold filtered, cold temperature process, microfiltered protein. Like First Form has a fantastic one, Formula One.
Which might lead into my next question. Who made the first cereal flavored protein?
That was First Form.
Okay. We always thought it was, but we didn't know. You know what I mean?
So we did candy flavors on supplements. First Form dropped cereal flavors, and the CTC.
That was a game changer.
Fucking good.
Dude, I remember where I was standing when I tried the Fruit Loop, because I was like, this is game changer. Yeah. It was so good.
It was such a hat tip to the protein powder, because protein's dairy based, and so you're like dairy. It's like the leftover milk. It made total sense.
Yeah.
For sure. Here we go. If we're in Texas, all right, so this is my favorite question. We always ask everybody at the very end because Kansas City is like barbecue central, right?
We can't ask
Fighting
you
words.
the normal ones.
But yeah. So we usually ask like, what's the spot that you have to bring people, that are moving or like, let's say visiting Kansas City. Where do you take them?
Two spots. There's Pecan Lodge, which is in Deep Ellum. You can smell it from 10 miles away.
This is in Dallas?
It's in Dallas.
All right. And it's called what?
Pecan Lodge.
Yep. Super good. Hurtado's out near Arlington. That place is amazing. It's a bit of a drive from where we're at, but yeah, Hurtado's and Pecan Lodge.
Did you ever try Franklin Barbecue in Austin? Have you ever visited Austin?
I haven't.
Franklin?
So, dude,
everybody always just, raves about Franklin Barbecue.
You're talking to a guy that has a 50-gallon drum smoker in the back of his truck right now. Like, I'm going to barbecue this weekend with my sister. And
I love this.
I grew up as an only child, but yeah, I do have a brother and sister. That's a long story. We'll tell that another time.
Yeah.
I found out about a couple years ago.
Got it.
So, but yeah, I love barbecue. I love barbecue. But yeah, I just can't stomach like waiting in line for 3 hours.
Are you not going to, if you love barbecue, are you not going to have some here?
I mean, like, I like to cook my own barbecue.
Yeah, okay.
I like to cook my own barbecue.
Do you like to try out like the competition spots though, just because you enjoy, like you are an enthusiast?
I think I'm better than them. I do. Because like, I'll tell you this, it's like sometimes it's just fresh barbecue. It's giving the jitters. Is so good.
Oh my God, it sounds great.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes
I just got the chills.
I get it. I can do that to you, baby.
What the hell?
I just got the chills.
Yeah. Fresh barbecue is sometimes, like, they may be better on some, like a lot of things for sure, 1,000%, because I'm not a barbecue restaurant, but fresh fucking barbecue is so good.
That's true.
It's silly, man.
When you
It's
pull
silly.
it and you pull the bone and
You pull it and like you're eating it 2 hours because the 2 hours you let it rest is when you're going to go eat it, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
The stuff you're eating is like 18, 20 years old or
Yeah.
20 hours old because that's how they've been cooking all night and and it's been sitting and now it's 4 o'clock and you're about to eat it. It's been sitting for 12, 14 hours.
Yeah.
Some people argue that's a good rest time, but look, fresh barbecue is so good.
Yeah.
Dude, I've gone to so I worked a barbecue, there's Rockin' Ribs in Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah.
And I volunteered at this event, but I got free barbecue for volunteering, right?
Yeah.
And people are just literally like, they're handing me their competition barbecue that they're about to submit to the judges, and they're just handing me the extras. And I was like, every single bite was like the best
How do you
thing
tell
I've
the
ever
difference?
had.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, that is stupid.
You're in
Like,
the
it's-
ballpark.
I'm like,
Yeah.
man, there's just nothing. But there was no restaurant that had ever made it taste that good. They're like,
Yeah.
we
That's
definitely
exactly
tried.
what he's saying.
Because it's
Yeah.
so fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not just the fact that it was so fresh. He said that like they use, different cuts, different, lengths of
Yeah.
time. Like, restaurant is a business. This is to win. You
And
know what I mean?
a lot of those places they use not Franklin's, but like a lot of these places they don't use true like smokers. Like they're using like these big oven type things to cook the barbecue, and like it's not the same smoke penetration.
It's a business. It's not trying to make the
Yeah.
best tasting barbecue possible.
Yeah.
They're trying to make a decently good product for a decent price.
So like Snow's and Franklin's and all. I mean, these places, but you know what makes really good barbecue is barbecue sides.
Yeah.
And that's where I lack.
Same.
So like I don't do a bunch of sides. I got a buddy of mine named Corey Moody who just does the most amazing sides, and he like came over and taught me a bunch of different things like Texas Twinkies and all these things. And
What's a
like,
Texas Twinkie?
What's a Texas
There's bacon
Twinkie?
wrap something? Bacon wrap something?
Oh yeah. So what we do is
Isn't that-
we take a jalapeno, we cut it in half, we soak it in 1 part vinegar, 2 parts water, and to pull the heat out a little bit.
Yeah.
And then what we do is we go ahead and make a brisket that day. And then we'll take brisket and cream cheese and we'll stuff it in there. And then we wrap it in bacon. But before we wrap it in bacon, we put 2 bread and butter pickles in there, 2 like chips. Wrap it in bacon, and then we douse in barbecue sauce, smoke it, pull it out, and put a cold pineapple on it.
Dear
Wow.
God.
I bet that's amazing.
It'll
I don't
fuck-
know how I've never heard of that.
So
I
in
guess I'm not in Texas.
a few months, right? You see, I got a deck here.
Come on.
I'm just saying, come on up.
I'll bring that smoke right there.
I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about that hunting trip.
Yep.
This is my wheelhouse.
Let's do it.
You're like, you guys can do the hunting trip. I'll do the barbecue on my deck.
I'm planning the barbecue at my house for real though.
You need to get a nice offset up here. You get a nice offset up there, and you're just good to go.
just barbecue lingo offset. Like
yeah.
I know what that is.
And we'll just.
I don't
train
even
it.
own a grill.
So, but you know, it's like the best smokers are the ones that you make in your backyard.
I love it.
Like a
Barrel.
like a barrel.
Barrel,
Yeah.
like a
Keg.
propane tank. Yep.
Cut the keg in half.
Yep. Like that's what I have at my house. I have a 250-gallon offset propane tank that we turned into a smoker,
Respect.
and it's good.
Well, on that note, it's dinner time. It's Friday night.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys listening.
Thank you,
Steven,
dude, for coming on, man.
Yeah, really good times.
Love talking to you, man. Obviously, think you are doing such a good job with Man Sports, and
Thank you.
glad that we're able to carry your products and you know.
Dude, just love the direction it's going in,
Yeah.
man. I'm excited for you.
It's really cool friendship with you guys because learning a lot. And it's that you guys have impacted my business in such a positive way.
Dude, appreciate you for saying that, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
Excited for the barbecue to impact me in a positive way. It'll be a negative. All right. Steven, tell everybody where to find you, where to find your brand, and where to find you on TikTok.
Thanks. Instagram's @mansports. My personal is @Steven Salmon. TikTok is @mansports and @Steven Stubbs.
Follow
Steven
this
Stubbs.
man. This is a great man. You follow him. Last thing for our guests, if you guys are
tell a friend.
Of course, tell a friend. But also, if you're a fan of the podcast, we do have some Protein Bros podcast shirts that we made specifically special for our listeners. These shirts are available at all of our locations, and all you have to do is walk in, tell them that you're a listener of the Protein Bros podcast, show them that you have subscribed to the podcast, and they will get you hooked up with a shirt in your size. They come in white, they come in black. I personally love the white. It pops, it looks awesome, but pick the shirt that you like the most. Lastly, we'd like you to make sure you tell a friend, share it up. Kyle, what else you got?
That's it, man. That's it. Thanks again for coming on, dude.
Yep.
All right, guys, we'll talk to you next week.